Right, most of us know that this alleged pandemic has been driven by the media. It's been driven by the governments, certainly as here in the UK anyway. To me, driven mostly by lies, deceit, and partial truths. And I just want to give you an example of it here. This is a video interview between Sophy Ridge from Sky News on Sunday with a Labour MP, I believe for Tooting in London, called Dr Rosena Allin-Khan. She is a doctor as well as an MP. I can show you here on the General Medical Council UK site. She is registered with a license to practice, Rosena Chantelle Allin-Khan, GMC reference number 6128660. Anybody can go and look that up on the internet. Okay, so she is a doctor and her designated body there is St George's University Hospital's NHS Foundation Trust. I want to show you parts of this video because this woman, Khan, tells a lie so monumental in this interview it can be seen from outer space. And Ridge, this thing here, does very little about it. I'm just going to play the video. Listen very carefully.
All of us, from politicians to doctors, and one of the few people who straddles both of those worlds is Labour's Shadow Mental Health Minister Rosena Allin-Khan, who continues to work as a frontline A&E doctor. She joins us now. Thank you for being on the programme. I know you've been doing some shifts in the Nightingale Hospital in London. What's the situation been like most recently?
The staff there are absolutely incredible and are a committed team. And this week on my shift, I was working with the family support liaison team, and it really gave me the insight to see how this virus has been stripping families of the ability to grieve, of humanity. And the setup that they have at the Nightingale is phenomenal. We spend the day phoning patients' families, and I've been a doctor for many years, but there is nothing more heartbreaking than delivering the very worst of news over the phone.
Right, you just heard that very clearly. If you need to go back and listen to it again, just replay the video and listen to it again. Sorry, I was jumping back to the 1980s there. Rewind. Ridge clearly said, you've been doing shifts in the London Nightingale Hospital. Khan comes on and doesn't deny that, doesn't correct her, she goes along with that and goes on about the fantastic setup at the Nightingale Hospital and how she uses the word we have been spending shifts phoning families and giving them the worst of news. So she's making it very clear there, I think, that she's been working at the London Nightingale Hospital and giving people the very worst of news. Okay, this is a lie, guys. This is a massive lie, and I'll show you why. Let's just carry on listening to her for a bit longer.
And on some occasions, we are able to bring a family member through to say goodbye, but we're only allowed to bring one person in. And imagine now, for a family, having to decide who is that individual that is able to go in and say goodbye, accompanied by a member of the team like myself. That is a crippling decision to make. And I found myself coming home heartbroken and asking myself, how much of this could have been avoided?
Lies. She's just confirmed there that they're having to make decisions about which family member can come through and say goodbye to their loved ones. This is a massive lie, guys. Okay, this is an old video, by the way. I should have said this earlier. This is an old interview. This is from the 26th of April 2020. Okay, So getting on for 10 months ago, towards the start of this alleged pandemic, when, remember, the UK is in lockdown. This is a Sunday morning show. There will be millions watching this. At this point, people were glued to the news, okay? Millions would have been listening to this and listening to this lie. This is on the 26th of April, and she is saying that she has been dealing with dead patients' relatives at the Nightingale Hospital. Go back through this video and listen to it again. It is clear. This is a lie. The first patient death from coronavirus at the Nightingale Hospital wasn't until the 5th of May. And I can show you a news article here. My old laptop will load up. First coronavirus death at NHS Nightingale Hospital as it goes into hibernation. In the latest figures announced today, the government confirmed one patient had died at the field hospital at London's XL Centre, with plans to stop admission of new patients in the coming days. This is on the 11th of May. All right, and just to confirm, while the death was first reported today, 7th of May, the patient died from coronavirus at the hospital on May 5th. Lies. She is lying to millions of people. Okay? Let's just play it on a bit and see what Sophy Ridge does.
You say how much of it could have been avoided. What do you mean by that?
I understand that this...
Ridge does nothing. She does absolutely nothing. This woman has come on her show, told this massive lie, and she must know this. She will know this. And she's just let her get away with it. And now it just goes into political point scoring. She's a Labour MP. She goes into political point scoring against the Conservatives. Okay. I'm just going to wind it forward. Search forward to a little bit later in the interview where Ridge actually starts to do her job a little bit. Let's go to there.
I just wonder if that's been your experience working in A&E on the front line. I mean, there have been reports as well that the Nightingale Hospital in London has been largely empty.
Yes, it has, Sophie. Why didn't you say that earlier? It has been empty. They're shut.
Look, I've been working at St George's in Tooting. That's where I work in the A&E. In the Nightingale, obviously, it's an intensive care.
I've been working at St George's in Tooting. She hasn't been working in the Nightingale Hospital. She's a fucking liar.
Set up, but in the A&E departments, my colleagues and I have been finding that the number of patients, worryingly, is going down for other illnesses. My plea to anybody watching your show today, Sophie, would be, if you have chest pain, if your child is ill, if you are worried that someone you love have got symptoms of a stroke, please...
Blah, blah, blah. She's just been caught lying and now is just waffling on and trying to cover this lie.
Please go to the emergency department. We are ready and waiting for you. We don't want to see
emergency departments were empty last year.
Come out of those people who were too afraid to go to hospital because they were worried about contracting COVID-19.
Yeah, there's certainly been some...
Correct. People were too scared to go to hospitals and were dying of other things. So if there was any excess deaths, that's where it's come from.
Concerning reports about cancer treatment being delayed, A&E attendance dropping. Do you think at some point there might be a tipping point where actually...
Ridge just waffles on. She just waffles on. She just ignores this massive lie this woman has just told. This, honestly. This makes me really mad, guys. We're locked down, we've shut our businesses, we've stopped sending our kids to school, we've stopped all sorts of treatments for different things. and millions of people are allowed to be lied to like this. Now, as I've already shown you, she is a doctor, okay? And when you are a doctor, you are registered, in the UK anyway, you are registered to the General Medical Council, as I've already shown you. We just go back to the General Medical Council. They have their good medical practice, or their own code of conduct. Let's just have a look at what their code of conduct includes. Good medical practice describes what it means to be a good doctor. It says that as a good doctor, you will make the care of your patient your first concern. Spot on. Be competent to keep your professional knowledge and skills up to date. Take prompt action if you think patient safety is being compromised. I think we can all agree with those. Establish and maintain good partnerships with your patients and colleagues. Maintain trust in you and the profession by being open, honest, and acting with integrity. I think we can all agree that Dr. Allin-Khan didn't do that. And if we just go further on, this is like a summary of the code of conduct, and then it goes into more detail about these things. If we go to domain 4, maintaining trust, act with honesty and integrity. Okay, point 66. You must always be honest about your experience, qualifications, and current role. Do we think that she was honest about her current role on the 26th of April 2020 in front of millions of people? I don't think so. I think that was a massive lie. You'll also notice something else up here on the GMC website, something called concerns. Raise a concern about a doctor. Should you raise a concern? Let's have a look. In many instances, we're not the best place to raise your concern. This is especially true when you're unhappy with the level of service you've received or when you disagree with the treatment you've been given. In these instances, you will usually get a better resolution by complaining to local services. However, if you have serious concerns about a doctor, you should raise them with us. These concerns could include la-di-da, di-da, di-da, fraud or dishonesty. Fraud or dishonesty. Wonder what would happen if the GMC received a barrage of complaints about this woman and this interview and the massive lie she told on national TV to millions of people. I wonder what would happen. I'm just saying. I wonder what would happen. And if you go on the GMC, it's very easy to raise a concern. It's just a simple form to fill in. Just saying. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. As ever, please like and share this video and subscribe to the channel. I will do videos as and when I can. I know I haven't done many recently in the last few days. I do work full time and I do have other things to do. But yeah, I'll get these videos out when I can. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. And I'll catch you on the next one. All the best, guys.